Hey YouTube, Dan Tychondrus back with another Fallout action figure from Mcfarlane. Now this is Fallout figures based on the TV show, and this is the one for Maximus. Now I did review the ghoul, the ghoul. Hopefully that video will be up first, and then this will be the one following up from it. If not, it'll be the other way around. But in either case, it's two Fallout figures that I picked up from Uncanny Collectibles here in Ireland. They do some great stuff. I'll put a link in the description below to their site that you can have a look-see. If they don't have them in stock, you might be able to reach out and see if they can get them in again. Well, at the time of this recording, if you're watching this like many years down the line, which hopefully some people might still be watching my videos, you might actually have a slim chance to picking these up at a reasonable price. That said, we'll get into the box, which is for Maximus. Now, his box is the same size as the one that came with the ghoul. Actually, I believe it is exactly the same size. Even though he's a much chunkier, bigger figure, it is around the same size. There is no real difference between the boxes other than the name of the character in the bottom. You still have Maximus on the side, the ghoul, and I cannot remember her name, but she's on that side. And then on the back you have an image of Maximus, and it is the actor who plays Maximus in the power armored suit. What's interesting to note is that the suit in the image has a lot more scars on it. Looks like claw marks, which could be a hint at the potential death claw or possibly one of the rad scorpions showcase. I don't remember him having those scars in season 1, so it could be a little spoiler for season 2 that he goes toe to toe with one of the bigger creatures. I don't think it's a super mutant because it looks like it's 3 claws on the hand. If you look at the scrape, it looks like it has 3 claws. So I'm thinking Death Claw, which would be kind of cool to see. It should be the first time to see it, I think. Showcased it in season 1. But that's pretty much it for the box. We're going to pause it here and we'll have a look at the figure and have a go through his accessories and stuff. So here is the figure in all its glory. Now, before I proceed, I'll just say that this isn't exactly how he comes packaged in the box. He actually comes with the Maximus head on the torso, so the helmeted head is actually one of the accessories. But you can see he does stand nearly 8 inches. If I move my camera back a small bit, you might be able to see that. 2 seconds. Bear with me a moment. Sorry about that. Wow. So he does stand in and around nearly 8 inches, maybe 7.5, with the height of the suit, because he is supposed to be a guy in a big suit of armor. Moving around to the back, this piece here is actually separate in the box. It comes packaged separate for some reason, I don't know why, but you just plug it in and it snaps into place. I don't think it's really supposed to be intended to be removed. It is where the whole suit opens, at least in one of the iterations of the game. This is where you enter into the suit from the back. You unhook that, you put the fusion core in, and the whole thing kind of your armors up around you. In addition, his hands that he actually has on at the moment are not the default hands. They're the ones that come as accessories. So here is the Maximus head. It's just on a ball peg. It is interesting to just pop off. It is a bit cumbersome to pop off the helmeted head, but it does pop off, and then we'll put on his regular head. You can see how tiny his head looks in the suit, as in, like, it is to scale, so the suit is quite massive. The helmet is really big. Now, the one thing I will say about mine, I'm not sure if it's deformed here at the back. I'm not sure if you can see that. If I try shining the light into it, hang on. It looks like it kind of, the molding went wrong on mine, or unless that's the way it's supposed to be. I could be wrong. If anyone else out there has one of these and done a review, feel free to drop a line in the comments to say if it's mine is unique or if it's the way they're supposed to be. So default hands are left and right punchy hands. So he comes with a lefty and a righty punchy, knock several shades of crap out of you. He does come with a lefty-righty trigger finger hand. So he has his lefty in at the moment, the righty is there. And then for his alternate kind of extra hands, he has like more outstretched left. And he has the pointy right. I'm not sure if the pointy right is from... I'm assuming they just added it in because it's kind of, you know, a gimmicky thing. I don't remember him having that in the... Well, not doing that in the show. He possibly did it numerous times. But, and then for a weapon, he comes with the... Is it the powered hammer? I think it is. It's the hammer that has like a... fucking... Excuse my language. Yeah, it has like the booster on the back of it, so it powers. It has like this thing glows and has a orangey flame come out the back of it and smacks things. So I believe it is a powered hammer. He does come with a Fallout stand. If you noticed in the box, his actual one is still in the box, but this is the one that came with the ghoul. It's exactly the same stand. We'll just chuck that aside. And then he comes with a collector card, just like with the ghoul, and on the back of that one it says, when Maximus's family and community were taken from him in a traumatic incident as a child, he was raised by the Brotherhooded Seal. They became his family and community. His biggest fear is weakness, and he seeks power as a means to shield himself from the violence and dangers of the wasteland. So that is a brief blurb on good old Maximus. But it is a really, really cool figure. Now, it does have some issues, and I'll get into that in the articulation. So I'm going to pop his normal head, or Maximus head off, pop the actual head back on, well, the armoured suit head back on. It just pops on a ball joint, but you get, or not ball joint, on the peg. You get some good left, right, and a little bit of tilt on it. His arms... I know this is going to happen to his left because this is the one that has most issue with. Oh, it didn't actually. His arms can go out that much. These are on a ball peg and a swivel at the top, these armor plates. But for my version of him, this left arm tends to pop out a lot. Not so much on the right. He does have an upper bicep swivel, which is kind of hidden by the armor plating. He only has a single jointed elbow. He doesn't have double jointed. But it does get a good 90-degree bend. His hands are on a swivel, but the wrists are on those kind of dumbbell pegs. So I can kind of get one off, and I'm going to do this off screen. So, as his left arm pops off. So, what I mean by the dumbbell pegs, it has like 2 pegs. And it will give him his other trigger finger hand. So it slots in, but depending on which way joint is positioned, you either have up, down, or in, out. You don't get a great range of them because of the way the armor overlaps the actual wrist, so it's not the best, but you do get some. He has a upper diaphragm joint, nothing in the waist due to the sculpting. He can kick forward that much. He can't really do the splits because of these big armor plates that go up on the hips. I mean, he is in a big suit of armor. You're going to expect him to be somewhat limited in what he can do. Single jointed knees. He doesn't have the double jointed knees like some of the other Mcfarlane figures. And then he has this like a forward. He has a bit of a rock on the ankle. He has peg holes, and he doesn't, even though it looks like he has it, he doesn't have the kind of toe articulation piece. So, but he is a fairly solid chunk of a figure. So hopefully this won't knock everything over. I'm going to bring in another kind of big figure, one which I don't think I've done a review of. But it is a kind of big mech suity type thing, and it is in the Mcfarlane wheelhouse. Just do a size comparison. This is that weird back mech suit. I can't remember what it's from, or which series it's from. Let me see if we can scroll out a bit there. So you can see it. It is like, he is a big chunky figure. So he does fit in with other kind of big mechy suit looking things. And then for another video game inspired figure, actually, because they have him handy, bring in the old Doomslayer. So you can see the Doomslayer next to him. He is a little bit shorter than him. because Doomslayer, even though he's wearing armor, he's not in a mechanized suit, if that makes sense. He's more wearing body armor than actual being in a mech armored suit. And then we'll bring in his other wave mate, which is the Ghoul. I'm going to see if I can get him to stand. Like, even the Doomslayer is taller than... We'll try and just get him to rest on his shoulder because he has trouble standing. Even the Doomslayer is like a taller character than the Ghoul. The Ghoul is like pure 7-inch. This guy's bigger, but you can see the height of the Ghoul. Oops, sorry, I'm gonna nudge the camera there. And then we'll bring in another NECA figure because I have him handy, and he looks absolutely badass. So we'll move the Ghoul over. Let's rest him against the wall because he does have trouble standing. We'll bring you over a bit. I'll bring in a Dungeons and Dragons character, which is Warduke. Completely different systems. There is Dungeons and Dragons video games, but you know, this guy isn't from one of them. But it is a kind of fantasy, sci-fi, you know, genre, make-believe genre of stuff. So I suppose he will fit somewhere in there. But you can see even Warduke is a little bit shorter than Maximus in his powered armor, which is pretty cool. So all in all, I really like this figure. It's one of two powered armored suits based on the TV series characters. I think it's the third or it's the fourth actual suit that Mcfarlane has released that is articulated. There was a statue version, if I remember correctly. So there is a few different options for those who prefer just a more statuesque version of the figure. Then there is that option out there for you. But overall, I really like this guy. Now, one other thing, if you do happen to have the the ammunitions pack from Mcfarlane, you can. It is a little bit funky because this guy doesn't come with an actual weapon. You can give him some of the weapons from that, which I believe there is a couple of guns that look like they could be from Fallout that you could really work in and give him that look. And if you really want to go to town, you could customize the heck out of this guy by just like repainting the armor in multiple different colors. Because if you played Fallout 76, I think that's the one, when you're like picking up parts for your armored suit or for the power armor suit, it's usually like different chassis, different arms, different things, and you can mix and match them. So you could go to town picking this guy up and just like repainting bits and bobs on him just to make it look like it was one that was scrounged from parts as opposed to one of the Brotherhood of Steel versions. So there is that. Or if you wanted to go all out, you could do one of those ones that has the big cage thing over it, and there's whole different variations of them. So you could just go with that. I will say, and I'm going to say it now, I can almost guarantee you that they will release this or re-release one of these in red with the Nuka-Cola color scheme. I can almost guarantee, I can picture one of them being released in it as a Nuka-Cola exclusive color scheme for Fallout, because that is a thing. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video for Maximus. He is a really cool figure. If you're not a big fan of if you just want him as a basic T600 or T60 power armor suit, you have that option. You don't have to have the character head, even though you do get the character head sculpt. You could pop that onto someone else or do another custom with it. So if you wanted just a pure Brotherhood of Steel suit, which looks pretty badass on a shelf, you have that option. The only thing is you only get the hammer, you don't get the actual one of the weapons. You could probably, as I said, scrounge a weapon from some other line that would fit. It is a 7-inch scale line, so anything like NECA's Terminator line, you could use the Gatling gun from that maybe. You could fit, or any of the other sort of lines there is. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video review, and as always, please feel free to like, comment and subscribe to my channel, and I hope you enjoyed this, watching it wherever you are in the world. Cheers, thanks for watching.